Recording.
Cool. Welcome to WOP Talk. My name is Joey. I'm joined by
Welcome to WOP Talk.
Robert.
How's it going, sir?
Good, you?
Not too bad. Sorry, we were just doing some technical stuff, fixing the camera. We're actually recording at 1080p, bro.
That's right.
Let's hope it works out. I mean, this is just a test.
With sophisticated equipment.
Well, a little more sophisticated than what we originally had.
Now, hopefully, we can combine the two together.
Hey, all the better, man. If we can get our viewers to actually enjoy the visuals as opposed to squinting and trying to make out, is he wearing a fake mustache? Is he wearing a wig, etc. Yeah, just kidding. But yeah.
But I wanted to go back to something, Robert. We were, believe it or not, we were featured on the Tony Marinaro show.
That was pretty cool, eh?
Wasn't that cool?
It was pretty
so
cool.
I'd like to say thank you to Tony Marinaro.
Yeah, thank you, Tony.
Thanks, man.
From all of us here at WOP Talk, even though there's only 2 members here right now. But yeah, that was pretty freaky. I mean, the first time we, anyway, it's funny.
It was pretty interesting. I mean,
It was pretty interesting. And just to give you, in a nutshell, basically what happened is that we posted a couple of videos. We uploaded a couple of videos on YouTube, the early stuff.
Yep.
All of a sudden, we got this email from a gentleman.
Yeah, we won't mention names.
We won't mention names right now, but anyway. And go ahead.
Yeah, and then
I mean, you're the one who actually opened the email.
Yeah, actually,
and you called me the next day.
Right. So I got the email. I was like, I didn't know this guy, so I was kind of taken by surprise, actually, believe it or not. So I was like, he's like, where can I get in touch with you guys?
Yeah.
So I told him he can always email us at info@woptalk.tv.
It's like we gotta talk.
Well, no, at this point, I didn't know yet. But once he did, he actually did take the time to email us at info@woptalk.tv, and he sent me this fucking email. It was like this big.
Yeah, he actually made me read the email. It was pretty cool.
He mentioned us that he, and I'm kind of wondering, like, where did this guy see us, right? Because, listen, let's not get carried away here. I mean, we're just starting off. In order for people to find us, you have to specifically know the word WOP Talk and search it in YouTube.
Exactly.
Otherwise, we ain't showing up in no YouTube result.
Well, we did it. I mean, we haven't officially launched yet, by the way. Yeah, so if you do watch this video, we're still in the midst of launching. So you're one of the fortunate ones or lucky ones to actually enjoy the show. But yeah, so we didn't exactly optimize anything on YouTube. The only key words we used were the name of the show, WOP Talk.
I think that was it, right? Oh,
post-game show, because we had done a post-game show.
We had done the very first Montreal Canadiens game in this season
against Toronto, where we sucked the bag. By the
right, way. We lost 2-1, and it looked like it was like a handicapped team.
Yeah. So we were.
So we were doing a little post-game show.
Yeah, I mean, we call it inspired. I think we were pissed off more than being inspired. Yeah. We had to talk hockey, so we basically turned on the mics and we did a little show.
Yeah.
And yeah, so this guy sends you an email, and we're like, number one, I mean, first of all, the guy's name, he's Italian, okay, so he's a WOP himself.
And he's whatever. In the email, he was like, I think he was intrigued that about what we were doing, and I think he obviously got an interest to this, and then by eventually we decided to meet. And by talking to him on the phone, before I even met him, I think both you and I were kind of surprised.
Skeptical, afraid to exchange phone numbers.
Well, we didn't know.
I mean, who is this guy?
Right, exactly. We don't know him from a hole in the wall, right?
Exactly.
And then one of the very first questions we asked him were, "Where did you hear us?"
I think that was the first question we had. We were actually talking to each other prior to meeting the guy. Ended up being a super nice guy, by the way.
Very nice guy, yeah.
But I mean, prior to that, I remember we were looking at each other. It's like, who is this guy?
Who the fuck is this guy? You know?
'Cause, you know, Montreal being a small knit WOP community, I mean, you know, we didn't recognize the name. We actually, you know, asked some of our friends if they knew the name, and like, how the fuck did he find us?
That was the very.
That was the exact expression. Because,
Absolutely.
Because unless you really write WOP Talk on the search bar on YouTube, I mean,
There's no way you were gonna get it.
Exactly.
You know, so apparently so we asked him. Remember on the phone?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we asked him, where did you hear about it? So he said, you don't know. So I was like, no, dude. I really want to know.
You did the talking.
Right.
You did the talking.
You know, I had him on speakerphone, and then he's like, well, we heard you on the Tony Marinaro show.
We're like Tony Marinaro.
Tony Marinaro, what are you kidding me?
In a sense, we still are. You know, like Tony Marinaro actually, we were on air for a total of 2-3 seconds, whatever it is.
Yeah,
even 10 seconds.
Yeah, apparently he said I'm not sure, but I heard of anywhere between 5 to 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And he usually, I listen to him every now and then, Tony Marinaro, and usually
we promise we're going to listen to you a little more often ever since this whole thing.
But you know, Tony, usually what happens is every time there's a commercial, he stops for a commercial break. When he comes back, he'll either play like a music clip or a clip of something or whatever. So he played us right after a commercial break, and they must have heard, or he said after he played the clip, you know, some guys from Saint Leonard doing
Saint Leo radio or something. I don't think he actually said WOP Talk.
Well, yeah, I'm not sure, but so the person that emailed us actually took the time to email Tony, and you know, he said, "Who are these guys?"
So he sent him the link or something.
He sent him the link. He actually put in his email response. I think he told him that we were WOP Talk, a few guys from Saint Leonard, and responded to this fellow, and that's how he got a hold of us. He actually then went on YouTube and typed in the word WOP Talk.
No, it was honestly such a good feeling. I mean, you know, we're just starting off, and
we haven't even officially launched. I mean, we have a semi logo.
Yeah, which is in the works, by the way. I
Right.
mean, we don't want to show you immediately, but to be launched soon.
Yep.
And it was really a good feeling, and makes you say, well, you know, maybe we're not doing this for nothing, you know.
No, so
I mean, we're doing this as a hobby. Although we would appreciate any of your donations. So if you want to donate to WOP Talk, feel free. Unfortunately, we don't even have an address to give you or anything. But just make sure you don't spend that money, so you can piece the cash soon.
You can always email us at info@woptalk.tv, and then I'll tell you where to send the cash.
Where to send the cash, exactly, and just send it to me, not this guy. It's like, anyway. Jokes aside, it was
Yeah, it was quite interesting.
It was cool. It really was. It was a good feeling.
So
we actually have a meeting, you know, tonight.
Yep.
With the guy who's going to actually be part of the team. Diego as well will be there.
Yep.
Over coffee, we're going to chat, try to find cool ideas, try to improve on things, and
So on a more serious note, I know this is not really our philosophy, but you know, on a more serious note, my uncle passed away about 2 weeks ago.
And I'm you know, again,
my condolences to my whole family, my cousins, and my aunt. But interestingly enough, you know, some funny stories come out of some serious situations.
I did go to the funeral, but I mean, funny situations.
Yeah, well, it was.
We're gonna start laughing about.
No. We're not gonna laugh at the expense. We're not gonna laugh at the expense.
Make him rest in peace.
No. But
nice man, by the way.
Yeah, you know, but going back to these funny situations, you know, like, you know, the whole, you know, the way the Italians have to get buried, right? Like they have to, you know, the coffin, and then they have to go in grips. You know, like in the freaking wall over there, like you know, like
dentro
un muro over there. So a while back, my father got diagnosed with cancer about 5 years ago, and my mother really thought he was gonna go. So my sister and I decided to take my mom to Sherbrooke,
At the cemetery.
the cemetery on Sherbrooke Street.
The prenotare u posto, whatever.
Prenotare posto, right? So here we are. We're sitting in the office with this guy, and this guy's telling us, he's showing it. It's like fucking buying. It's worse than buying a car, dude. There's so many options. It's not even funny. So here, the guy's telling us, like, by the way, for people who don't know, any mausoleum that you're gonna go buy your crypts at, the mausoleum is 99. So you're getting the mausoleum will only last 99 years from the day that it opens.
Yeah, but at that point, who gives a shit, right?
Yeah,
obviously, one of your parents goes away. I mean, they're not going to be there. We're not going to.
We're not going to be there. Our kids are probably not going to be there.
Exactly.
So
that's a long time, man. 99 years.
So here, my mom, the guy's telling us, at that time.
I don't know if you hear the dog in the background, but hey,
it's all right.
That's Toto, by the way.
Toto.
My little doggy.
So the guy's sitting down, right? And at that time, back in 2007, there was still places left in the mausoleum called Padre Pio.
Okay.
But there was a new one being built. But obviously, the new one being built, because the places are of abundance, you're gonna pay them more. So Padre Pio being the older one, the guy gives you a special, believe it or not.
Okay.
So.
But what do you mean? Hold on a second. 99 years. I mean.
Okay, so if the mausoleum is open, let's say today.
Okay.
Right. Mm-hmm. So what are we today? February 17th, 2013. Mm-hmm. It will be open, or the people that have the crypts in there, you have it from 99 days starting from today.
Okay, so from the time the actual mausoleum
opens, that's correct.
Not only do we get fucked while we're alive,
you get fucked even when you're dead.
Even when you're dead. So basically, it's 99 years from the time.
That the mausoleum opens.
So basically, if it opened 80 years ago in reality, and you're not even dead yet because you're buying in advance.
Correct.
That's pretty fucked up, man.
Okay, so you have so those bodies, they're going to be there for 99 years. Mm-hmm. Now, what happens after the 99 years? It's a whole question that everybody seems to. Nobody really knows. Bottom line is, after 99 years, they take away all these bodies. The coffins are still going to be there.
They feed it to the dogs. Right?
Well, at that point, not everybody will have been there for 99 years. So remember,
of course not. Yeah.
So what they do is they will get in touch with the next of kin of the bodies that are there, and ask you, do you want to renew for another 99 years?
So basically, pack. You gotta pack.
You have to pack, obviously, right? If you say no, then they remove the body with the coffin, and they will resell that crypt
to somebody else.
Yeah,
whoever it is.
Now you're saying, but what do they do with the coffin that they take out?
Yeah, what do they do? I mean, at that point, they're probably all bones, all depending on how many years have passed.
Right. So depending on how many years you've been there, they're gonna obviously open the coffin, and at this point, most probably you're all bones, right? Let's say if it's only maybe 10 years that you're there, then the next of kin is most probably going to be that first generation that still remembers that person that's going to be there. So generally speaking, you're probably going to want to renew it, right? And most people will not only buy it for 10 years, because let's face it. But let's say the next of kin were like 3 or 4 generations down, dude. Your bones have that. It's in the foot anyways, right?
It's like,
so what happens? They open this coffin, and they put you in a generalized.
What they do is
they put you at Miron. They put a bit of oil.
But let me ask you something. That was funny, by the way. But you did go there with your. You told me that
my mom and my sister.
Now, don't tell me that the guy said it in front of your mother. This thing about 99 years. She must have fucking freaked.
Well, she. So very good point. She understood that it was 99 years from the day that she gets buried.
And I thought the same thing.
Apparently, so it's not that.
Okay.
So I had to explain because my mom kept
Now,
on saying.
how long has this place been open?
So when we
From
bought
the
it,
time-
because
from the time
my mother ended up buying it.
Okay.
Right, because she thought
Yeah.
my father was gonna go, and she goes, you know what? At this point, if I'm gonna buy one for my husband, I might as well buy one for me too.
Okay.
You know, thinking she's gonna go right after him, right?
I mean, knowing his mom. Anyway, continue. Sorry to interrupt.
So it had already. She bought it at Padre Pio. It was already, I think, 7 or 8 years. It was open already.
Yeah, but why even tell the lady, man? 7, 8 years. I mean, okay.
Well, you know, because you'll know.
91 years. Okay, just tell her to fucking.
No,
price.
you know, right? Because you can tell that the mausoleum is not.
But she should
brand
have
new.
told, the guy, the salesman, because I'm assuming he's a type of salesman.
He is. He's a salesman. Yeah.
He's a salesman. Why even go through the trouble? Because,
No, because he has
elderly
to.
people.
He has to. It's
has to.
by law, he has to tell you, right?
Okay.
So he's got to tell you, Signora, beware that this mausoleum was built, example, 8 years ago. So today you're buying it.
91 years, not 91.
You're only getting 91 years. Now, based on that,
Yeah.
they give you discounts because you no longer have it for 99 years,
They
right?
don't want to fuck you totally. They just want
Right.
to fuck you
So
halfway.
you know what? I told my mom, you know what? Even better. Why do you have to buy one starting from 99 years? You're dead anyways.
So-
So when my mother understood that it was 99 years from the day that she would die, I said, no, ma. It's 91 years from it's going to be 91 years starting from today.
And by the way, she's still alive, right? So,
Today,
I mean,
and so is my dad.
yeah, exactly.
So it's already been 5 years. So imagine, I think it was 8 years, right? 8 years plus 5, they're already at 13 years that this thing's been built, and it's not being used. So if you do 99 minus 13,
Anyway, so what did she say when?
well, she was like,
When
no,
she was told,
she understood that it was 99 years from the day that she's dead.
So did she argue with the guy or what?
Well, then she was like, whoa, wait a minute, she's like, and I had to explain to her, so did my sister. So eventually we got through to her, but she really didn't understand it that way.
Okay.
Because the Italians just hear that 99 years.
99, don't worry,
Right.
I got all kinds of
And
time.
then they get what I go Maragon Jet and next door or whatever, they start talking
Maragon Jet.
99 years, this and that, or whatever,
That's it. Yeah.
and they all say, oh, you have it for 99 years. But 99 years from the day that the mausoleum was built. Yes.
So if you die like 30 years from now,
You're down.
it's minus 30.
It's minus 30.
It's crazy.
Right? So, all this to say, my mom was like, she was a little, and then to make matters worse, she bought a place where my dad will go in, like, so they're one on top of the other,
Okay.
but my dad goes in first and then goes down a little, and then my mom goes in. Well, because she asked who goes down, so I said whoever croaks first.
Yeah, another can of worms over there.
So I go, whoever croaks first goes in. So she goes, wait a minute. She goes, so if we're on the first floor, she goes, that first person who's going to go in is going to go in the ground. I said, no, man, there's like a type of foundation or there's
something,
a basement under. Well, there's a basement, right?
There's that Damigiano over there.
Well, yeah, exactly. With the storage room or whatever, right? Oh no, no, I don't want it in the ground. I said, no, you're not in the ground. I said, there's a basement. No, io lo voglio secondo piano. So we had to go get it on the second floor.
That one is it.
Because so then I meet her.
And these guys, I'm sure these fuckers, okay, when they sell you, all depending where, for sure, all depending where you are, at the bottom you pay more.
Oh
you
yeah.
know,
If anybody saw, if
options.
anybody know, so there's like A, B, C, D, and E, right? So my mother bought A, being the first one.
Like I never had to do it, thank God. I mean, eventually it may happen.
Yeah, but
I don't wanna.
but obviously those are all different prices depending on, the eye level one is B, that they gouge you. Like you talk
How
about,
much does it fucking cost? Anyway?
dude, put it this way: bend over with no Vaseline and you're getting it fucking bella zika
Zeke over there. Oh wait.
Like no guiche. Like you're getting no. The guiche. I think you're gonna get it if you take E.
Like you
is at
pass
the
the
top.
mop over there.
Yeah,
That's it.
It's unbelievable, but all that, no, because she didn't want to. The first person had to go under.
Bella Zeke.
Yeah.
Bella Zeke.
So,
Anyway.
So yeah, it was quite an interesting thing, but yeah. And then the guy goes even a step further. He wants even to sell you the coffin, and you're not dead yet. So I told my mom, I go, Mom, forget it. We're not doing the coffin. I'm gonna take care of the coffin,
Okay.
But you walk in, dude, and it's like.
But she wanted to see them.
She just wanted to see, But
Okay.
dude, you walk in, and I kid you not, it's gotta be the size of maybe. I don't want to exaggerate. It's gotta be the size of maybe half a football field. Dude, there's every type of fucking coffin you want. Fucking mahogany, oak,
Gold handles,
silver handles, fucking
goalie
silk
pads, goalie pads, no goalie pads.
the sunroof, no sunroof over there, like air conditioning, like it's crazy. It's fucking crazy, man. Silk, no silk. Cloth.
Okay, I want this one.
It was incredible. And you go through, what it looks like? It reminds me of going through IKEA, where you have to go through a maze. And
you got to build it yourself.
No,
It's like,
no, but at IKEA, have you ever been to IKEA?
yeah, of course.
By the way, we're not sponsored by IKEA.
We're not exactly.
So IKEA, you walk in, and the way the store is made is you walk in, and there's no way to walk out. There's a maze that you have to go through the whole maze. Well,
I'm sure that most of the viewers,
when you go for the coffin, the maze, there's a maze done this way, and you have to go through the once you start going through this path, you got to do the whole turn. Non binire, you got to do the whole turn.
You go backwards over there.
Yeah, I mean you go backwards. You go back through the path.
They do it on purpose so that they show you every single model.
It was unbelievable.
As if you're going to be more comfortable,
It's it's sad, but people who have to go through it, it's a sad thing,
Well, eventually we're probably gonna have to decide for. I always told my brother, I told my brother because I got a little brother. I even told my parents, I go, if I ever go before you guys, just put me in a cardboard box over there.
Yeah. Put you on the curb for the garbage the next day over there.
Garbage truck, let's go. Dan, once you're dead, dude, who gives a fuck? Honestly.
I know. But to a lot of I think that
the older generation
Italians, this is a very touchy topic, so it's.
I mean, listen, when you get into these, I mean, this is really funny. Thanks for sharing, but sometimes you get into these morbid conversations with your folks. I mean, I got my dad's like 78,
Yeah.
My mom's 67. And when you talk to them, my mom told me when I die I want to be cremated.
That's kind of interesting though, because typically
in the Italians, I agree.
Typically the Italians don't want to go for that, right?
That's right. Because
I want to be cremated as well.
But you gave it some thought. Like you actually, I don't know. Like when I say I want to be put in a garbage bag, like honestly, I don't really.
You know
care
what? The whole thing. You put me in a freaking coffin. You know what? Maybe put me in the coffin for people to come
for the wake.
Right? Once it's done, I want to be cremated and I want to be put in a little urn, and that's it.
Yeah, put me in the Folgers can over there.
The tin can over there.
The tin can.
Then I shakwat over there. Put a bit of.
Then I shakwat before you put me inside there.
Speed it in there. Shake it.
A bit of speed it. Anyway.
So yeah, but
morbid
conversations.
But it's funny just the same.
Absolutely. But
on a lighter note, I didn't see the game. Did you see the game?
Last night's game, I didn't see the game.
Against Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Flyers.
Montreal 1-4-1.
Cool. So we're on the right track. Does that make us in second place now?
Second place in the Eastern Conference as of today.
Did we surpass Boston? No. Did Boston play?
Yes, actually we did, because in first place is New Jersey.
Okay, so we actually surpassed Boston.
But Boston has two games in hand.
Two games in hand. Yeah.
But people were asking and at the beginning of the season we had one of the podcasts we did was post-game show. We thought they were horrible. We thought that they were crippled as a team. I think Michel Therrien is doing a nice job with them. I think the team's pulling together, and if anybody thinks if we're for real, we're for real. I think we're for real.
I think Philadelphia's already out of the playoffs anyway. I mean, judging with the amount of games they lost.
Absolutely.
So they sucked the bag this year.
Correct. I mean, they're not doing as well as we know of Philadelphia to be.
And, just in size and everything. I mean, usually we always have a hard time. I mean, we always had a hard time against Philadelphia. At least the last 10, 15 years.
Now, was it because Philadelphia didn't show up last night? Or was it because Montreal played better?
Who knows? One team that is freaking me out, though, man, is Chicago.
Absolutely. They still have yet to lose in regulation time. Believe it or not, they haven't lost it. In their loss column, there's a big fat goose egg. Zero. They're the only team yet that haven't lost in regulation time.
They're totally freaking me out.
So yeah, it's if you look at the conference standings,
Pittsburgh's in front.
So yeah, it's Pittsburgh, Montreal, and Carolina as of today.
Hey.
And
Boston has
Boston is at 12 games played. Montreal's at 14, so they have 2 games in hand.
That's right. 9 wins, 4 losses, one overtime win.
Yeah, it's an overtime win. Yeah, and Philly. I mean,
they got 3 points.
No.
Okay. It's still the old system.
Right.
Because I know that at one point they were thinking of
a win, changing the win to 3 points.
3 points.
No, it's still 2 points.
Still 2 points.
So Philadelphia right now is in 11th spot in the conference.
Technically speaking, dude.
Which
listen, anything can happen.
Absolutely.
Season's still young, but let's face it. You lose 5 in a row with this short season.
It doesn't look good.
You're out of the playoffs, man. Sometimes.
Right.
I mean.
So with this being said, I mean. We did hear bad luck. If you noticed that, you didn't see the game, but
unfortunately not.
Gallagher got hit late in the 3rd period yesterday, and it looked like the way he got hit. I was questioning it.
I know what's coming. You're saying he's out now.
Well, lo and behold, he's out with a concussion, right? So.
Good kid. I like.
Yeah. So Brendan Gallagher lightly felt the brunt of it last night, right? And it says here that he will be out. He is out with a concussion. They just are not saying for how long.
Well, let's hope the kid recovers as soon as possible. I mean, what a line though, eh? Those 2 kids with Proust.
They actually changed things around.
Oh, with Pacioretty.
With Pacioretty. So they put Proust now with. They put him on the second line.
But the thing about this 1 line, 2 lines, 3 lines, 4th line, I think Terrien said it best. He goes, I don't have lines.
Yeah.
He goes, I basically switch the players according to what the opposing team does.
Absolutely.
And
you know what though,
listen, think about it. Pacioretty, and I'm sorry if I interrupted you, but if you look at Pacioretty, he's considered the first liner, second liner. But let's face it, man. How many goals has he scored?
Pacioretty?
Goose egg.
For this year?
Goose egg. He hasn't scored 1 goal. Now, I like the kid, don't get me wrong. But, I mean, he's not, unless he scored yesterday. Again, I didn't...
no, he didn't. He's at 0 goals. He has
8 points.
8 assists.
8 assists. But
he has yet to score.
He's 0 goals.
Like Rafael Diaz also is at 0 goals as well.
Yeah. And, when you got... Plekanec's definitely our top scorer right now with 7 goals and 5 assists. Right?
Yeah.
He's got a total of 14 points. Sorry, we're checking. The only reason why we're taking time with this is because we're checking stats here.
And Markov, I don't know if you saw it, but Markov, since Subban has been back, I noticed. I mean, even though I travel, I've been following the team, looking at the highlights and stuff. Subban. So, it's interesting because prior to Subban's return, if you noticed. Markov was flying.
Yeah.
Playing very well. Playing like the Markov we know of. The minute Subban got back, and if you look at the highlights, you'll probably agree with me, but he hasn't stood out anymore. So now you kind of have to wonder. Yesterday, if you look at the highlights, a lot of the times Markov, because they're paired up, a lot of the times at the point, Markov waiting for a pass, Subban, let's say, gets the pass instead of passing it over to Markov, will take a slap shot, even though he's in a position probably not to take that slap shot. But remember, you have 2 guys here that are sort of like the leaders of that in the defenseman, right?
Now, unless I heard you wrong. What you're saying is that instead of passing it to Markov, he'll take a slap shot.
Right, and even
I've
though
noticed-
even though he's not in a position to take the slap
But
shot,
I've noticed, again, I didn't see 1 minute of yesterday's game. I think I saw maybe a highlight because I was in a restaurant. St. Valentine's Day, by the way. Not that I have a Valentine or anything. I think sleep was my Valentine this year. But so I didn't see the game at all. But I have noticed
since Subban's return,
since Subban's return compared to last season, Subban has been a little more generous with the puck.
okay,
It's actually been making less shots according to what I've seen. Again,
maybe
I can't base
there
myself
is
on
some
yesterday,
truth to that. There is some truth. But if you look at last night's game and even the game before,